And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to the Dice Tower. Today we're taking a look at a game called Invisible. Ah, there it is. Invisible is a game in which you can't see everything. So you're trying to figure out what's missing or what went invisible. I guess something turned invisible or everything turned invisible. All right, we're getting a little too off topic here. It sounds more complicated. Find what's missing. It's one of those games. So a bunch of tiles are going to be placed around. These tiles are going to match various things on each of the cards. So if we'll take a closer look at the cards here. So there are two of them. You can play with just the witch or just the wizard. You can play with either one in the deck, or you can play with a mixture of both of them. But these show the various objects that are on here. And so each round of the game, you're going to flip over a card. And so this one matches the wizard, for example. And in this one, everything is on this card except one thing. So I'm looking around, what is it? Do you see it? Well, in this case, it happens to be the dragon is missing. Everything is there except for the dragon. So I'm going to, as quickly as I can, put my hand on the dragon one and say dragon, or whatever it is. And if so, I'll get the card. Sometimes it's the opposite. You'll put out a card like this one here, where everything is missing except one thing. So do you see what it is? Because obviously the dice is gone and the box is gone. So what is there? And if you haven't guessed by now, it's the book. The book is still there. And then so if you're the first person at the book, you'll get that card. So again, here's she is with everything. And so I had to figure out what's missing. It's the plate. And here's one with a wizard with everything missing but something. And what is it? It's the apple. All right, so that's how the game is played. There's I think a couple cards that have everything on them or nothing on them, and if that's the case, don't touch anything. Because you can play with the variant that if you touch something and it's incorrect, then you have to put a card back. And that's it. You're going to be the first player to get a certain number of cards. That's how many points you have. Whoever has the most points is the winner. It's that simple. So obviously the box is cool, right? We've already talked about that, where you can see them stuff. Ooh. Okay, that's a neat box, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the game other than being a selling point for the game. The cards themselves, though, are extremely good quality. I really like them. Now, there is one problem with this game, is that it's best if everyone's sitting on the same side of the table, because if it's upside down, it's just naturally a little harder to find the different things. Like if you're looking at this as opposed to this, which one is easier? Now, you can say, upside down doesn't bother me, but I feel like it's a slight disadvantage. So when we played the game with people on opposite sides of the table, when I drew a card, one time I would put it this way, and the other time I would put it this way. Of course, we would rotate these cards to match. Now, these cards are pretty critical. You can play without these cards, and it's really tricky. I mean, you're taking it up a notch. And then these work really well. Just the different items that are missing are there. And everything fits into the box. So the components is pretty good. The card quality is exceptionally good. This isn't a long review because this is not a long game. This is literally flip a card over, first person to find something gets it. That's the game. So some people are going to like that. Some people are not going to be as enthusiastic about that. I thought it was okay. There's a gazillion games. Be the first one to see something, hit it. Yay, we both slapped each other's hands or whatever. I mean, it's definitely tricky, right? But it's not... I've played games like this that felt like they were different and unique. This one is literally one thing's missing or one thing is there and everything else is missing. Okay, that's interesting, but it's interesting for about 10 minutes and then it kind of goes away. And then you're just playing a speed game and flipping over cards. You might as well play with both. Like I said, the rotation on the table kind of favors one side over the other, so there's that too. It's nice quality. It might be good for a lark. It might be good for kids. It's pretty fast, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes. It says 2 to 10 players. That's insane to play something like this with 10 players. So you're all crowded around the table trying to slap stuff. But maybe that's the kind of game you want to play. I didn't dislike it, but it is what it is. I mean, it's literally turn a card over, find a missing difference. That's it. The end. Review over. Dice Tower Judgment. It's That's okay. A little samey.